If you love me or you support me, this video is for you, just to explain where I'm at. If you hate me and you're watching this video to watch my downfall, grab some popcorn, man, because it's a good one. Almost, actually by the time this video goes up, I will have had taken a week from social media. Not like entirely, but based off of the schedule that I used to be on, I've taken like a week off. I didn't schedule that. I didn't plan that. I didn't even plan when I was going to make this video. I just like allowed myself to take a break, and whenever I felt like making this video, that's when I was going to come back. And I really debated on if I was just going to like not share things in my personal life, and just because I already have 2 videos pre-filmed, one of them being one of the most proudest videos I've ever filmed, right? So I have all of those pre-filmed. I really debated on just uploading my pre-filmed videos and not sharing this, and just kind of like carrying on, and like nobody had to know kind of thing. If I do that, then I'm just like the 97% of everybody else on social media who just pretends that the majority of their life is perfect and like there are no bad days. And not only did I want to make this video for myself, but I want to make this video for the people that constantly go on social media, constantly go on YouTube, constantly go anything. They go online and all you see is perfection, right? All you ever see is people doing great, and it makes you think like you're not doing enough. It makes you feel like you're not achieving everything and you're doing something wrong because everybody else's life looks perfect 24/7 online. I'm not going to be doing makeup. I'm not going to be doing anything. There's a couple reasons why. One, I've broken out in hives, so I don't want to put on makeup to begin with, which is another reason why I want to film this video, because like I can't really create new content right now anyways, because my whole body is broken out in hives, and makeup just like wouldn't look good on me right now. And 2, I just kind of wanted to just sit down in a robe, and I just wanted to talk about this. Going through some personal things in my life, which we all do. We all go through personal things in our life. I went through something personal in my life, and it kind of just, put me a little bit at my mental health, just like was the worst that it's been in a very long time. So I want to share some of the things I did to get through my mental health, and I also want to share some of my mistakes, because I think it's important to acknowledge maybe some of the mistakes that you can make while dealing with something when it comes to your mental health. I definitely acknowledged the feelings that I was going through, to thoughts of crying. I think my eyes are like still swollen. It could be the hives. I don't really know. I also don't know if I have hives right now, because if I'm going through an allergic reaction or if this is simply anxiety. I'm not really sure. I've never had hives last this long, so your guess is as good as mine. Get it across the board. I have anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Throughout my life, I've had severities of this, and it's definitely not been as bad as it used to be. I think some of the mistakes I've made throughout these past 6 days, is that I've really let my depression win a little bit on some days. There's days when I should have got up and I should have done some things. And there's days when I've been productive, but there's been some days where I haven't been productive at all. And I've laid in bed and I've let my depression give me every excuse in the book why I should stay in bed and why I should still sleep, take a nap, sleep some more, wake up, eat, take a nap, like, you know, if you know, you know. So I think that's like one of the biggest mistakes that I've made in these past 6-7 days is that I've avoided a lot of things. I've avoided making this video, and I've avoided being productive on some days. And although I've made some mistakes, there are a lot of things that I could have done that I didn't do. And I've had a lot of victories and a lot of things that I've battled these past 6-7 days. And I'm just going to acknowledge that as victories. Because although I have some defeats and I have some mistakes that I've made, I've had some dark thoughts and I didn't act on any of them. Not even one. I'm going to be honest, because that's the whole fucking point of this video. I thought that, you know, what if I've thought about alcohol. I could drink my day away and feel better. I thought about drugs, not hard drugs, just like smoking, you know, a thing that is legal in most states. I thought about smoking, which I don't really do anymore for a lot of reasons. Thought about doing that to just, because it used to calm my anxiety, it doesn't do that anymore. It actually heightens it. But I thought, well, maybe this will be different and I could just smoke and then I'll feel better. Didn't do that. Thought about harming myself. I'm going to be honest. I did. The thought crossed my mind and I didn't act on it. I thought, well, maybe my life will be better if I'm not here in this life. I could have acted on that. And I didn't. I didn't act on not one, none, no dark thoughts. Didn't act on any of them. And if I ever look back on this video, that's just one thing I'm proud of. That's a victory for me. Because although to a lot of people that might just be common sense, when you're not really in the right mind space, it's not really about common sense. It's just kind of like impulse thoughts and sometimes decisions. And yeah, just really proud that, you know, high five to me. I was strong enough not to, but I didn't do it alone. And I just want to be super thankful because I had my mom and my best friend with me by my side throughout the entire thing. They were there for me. But sometimes like that's not enough, and I can admit that. Sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes people that you love around you while you're going through something hard is not enough. So I take it one step further. I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to do things. I don't really know the guidelines, but I'm just going to put this out here. The suicide prevention hotline number, I understand it is meant for people that are like about to act on such things, but I've used it 2 times now. Both times I was never going to act on that thing. I was never going to do it. But both times I've called, I called simply because I wanted to talk to a professional. You know, if it's like 3 in the morning or if it's 1 in the morning, you know, even if you have a therapist, sometimes that late in the night, you can't really call a therapist. You can't really get a hold of any professionals that late at night. So I've used that number as, and I don't do it all the time. This is the second time I've done it in my life. And for both times, I've done it because it's so late at night and I want to talk to a professional and I don't really know who else to call. So, and they've never said like, well, you can't call this number, you know, if you're just wanting to talk to us. Like, every time I've called, they thank me for calling them because it's better than just sitting in your own thoughts. So, so even if like the people you love around you is not enough, I highly advise if you're ever in your dark thoughts and it's at some point of the day or night and you need to talk to a professional and you don't have anybody to call, that number to me is like the best thing you could call. Because they will sit there with you for however long you need, and they will talk to you, they'll give you advice. If you think you need counseling, therapy, what have you, they will recommend places nearby. If you can't afford therapy, if you say that, they will try to find free programs for you. It's just like the amount of resources they have is incredible. I don't really know everything when it comes to that, but from my personal experience, I've expressed how I can't afford therapy. I've expressed how I don't really have the best insurance, and in the past, they've recommended programs for me to be enrolled into, and it was free. I got free counseling. I got free therapy. Something I've never done before in my life. I understand everybody has their own thing, so take this with a grain of salt. But this is the first time I've ever leaned on to God through a hard time. Really leaned on to God for it. And said, I can't do this on my own. And I believe you've got a plan for me. Show me the way. Show me the way. This happened on a Sunday. The whole start of this happened on a Sunday. Very conveniently, because that's when church was. And coincidentally enough, the subject that day in church the title was Detours. And the whole service was about unexpected, unplanned events in your life that you're going to face. And all that it means are a couple core base things. One, when you face something challenging in life, you're supposed to embrace it and not endure it, because that means God is working on you as a person. And it's a challenge in life because it's challenging you to grow and to learn from whatever you're going through. So that was number one. And number two was, when you face hard things in life, you're supposed to be grateful for them and thank God for them, because that means that He has not given up on you, and that means that He's giving you these challenges because He's trying to remind you that you might think you have a handle on your life, and you might think you have all these plans for your life, but in reality, He's got the plan, and He has the road, the path for you, and that you might think you're headed in this direction, but He's got a better direction for you. So I'm not going to get too much into it. I just wanted to throw that out there because this is something new that I've been doing in my life, and I think that it's helped a lot because it gives me hope, thinking in the back of my mind, okay, I'm going through this for a reason, and then I just try to figure out what the reason is. I think it's strengthened my faith through this too, because I got out of it and I didn't act on any of my dark thoughts, and I think I got a lot of strength from praying. One thing I really wanted to touch base on was I've been actively trying to build myself up as a creator. Whatever you want to call it. So it's been 6 months, 7, I don't know. Not even a year, basically, on social media. And I just want to point this out. I never thought I would be grateful. I'd never thought I'd feel this amount of gratitude towards the people that follow me on social media. It feels weird to say, but I posted something on TikTok because people were asking me to live stream. They were asking me, when's your next YouTube video going up? All this and everything. And I felt like just being honest on my TikTok and saying, hey, my caption was, I posted a video of I was crying. It's just a raw, unedited video, just purely just my emotions. And I said, I'll explain later, which is what I'm doing now, but I won't be posting for a minute, which was true. I just need some time. I didn't know how the video was going to go. I didn't know if people were going to give me shit for it, if they'd be like, oh, okay, so that's why you're not posting. I didn't know how the video was going to go. I just wanted to post it because people kept asking me to upload content, and I just literally couldn't. So that, to me, felt like the best way of reaching out to my audience and saying, hey, I can't post right now. I'll explain later, though. Don't worry. I'm not just not going to explain myself, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know how the video was going to go. I didn't. But there were 430 comments on that video. There's almost 17,000 views on it, and it's only been posted for 3 days. On my TikTok DMs, I've got 20 DMs on TikTok. I got 12 on Instagram. And then, like, people have texted me left and right. People that I haven't talked to in a long time have been texting me left and right ever since I posted that video. Because people saw the video and then they texted me, reached out to me, whatever. Wanted to know what was going on. I've been really grateful in the past for people reaching out to me, DMing me, saying anything that has been said in the past, I've been really grateful for. I think a lot of people go through a lot of hate online, but I would say the majority of my audience online is really kind. I come across some mean people here and there. I think that's normal. But I would say the majority of my audience cares and is extremely nice. I'm very used to seeing an audience from a creator. It's like split down the middle. Some of them are nice and a lot of them are mean. And maybe it's just because I haven't gotten to that level yet, but like the majority of my audience is unbelievably kind. And I've been thankful for it in the past, but never did I think that I would feel this grateful for the audience that I have. I mean, the amount of people, I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not. But the amount of people that reached out to me just saying how I'm not alone and how if I need to talk to them, here's my phone number, here's this, here's that, just reach out, we can talk. And 430 comments. That's like 430 people telling you, hey, you can talk to me if you need it. And I'm not even big. I hit 30,000 and I'm really grateful for it. I'm almost at 31 on TikTok. But there's only 4,000 on Instagram? That is a lot, but not in the grand scheme of things. I'm not and there's people with millions of followers. I don't really have that many. I do, I'm grateful. But in the grand scale of tiers of who's made it and who hasn't, I'm not really there, and that's a lot of people. And I am just so thankful. I'm so thankful. And I hope one day I can express to my entire audience how thankful I truly am. I'm just really thankful. And I know maybe my emotions don't show it right now. I'm trying really hard not to cry, if I'm being honest. There's not a whole lot of emotions from me right now. I'm usually a very bubbly person, but I am just trying to I'm trying to talk about this and not cry. So, I just wanted to get that across. I understand maybe you don't want to hear about it or you don't care, but I know that there are people that follow me on TikTok or, whatever, and I know that those people watch my YouTube videos, and I just want to say literally from the bottom of my heart, I am so thankful that you cared enough to reach out to me and to ask if I'm okay. And for the people that know me and reached out to me, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for making me feel like I'm not alone and that I do have people that are here for me. Sometimes I don't understand what I've done to deserve it, but it's just really kind. And I think there's a lot of things in our world that makes us think that this whole world is so cruel. But when stuff like that happens, it's just a reminder that there are so many kind people in this world. And not only that, but I think what surprised me the most is how many like religious comments I got on TikTok. I got so many, even Instagram actually. Some of the DMs I got on Instagram was, you know, do you want to join our Bible study Zoom calls that we're doing? Like we do these sessions where we talk about God, and so many comments on TikTok of listen to this song, really helps in my faith. I love, there's a lot of religious songs that I love because I think they help with a lot of situations that you might face in life. So many comments, so many religious comments saying that God's with you, God has a plan for you. I think that surprised me the most, is just seeing how religious I don't know if it's my following or if it was just random, but just the amount of comments that I got that were religious based. I think that shocked me the most, because I keep thinking that like my generation and younger aren't really that religious. I've just personally felt like that, but I don't know. It just really shocked me for a good reason. This is just something that's going to just take some time, and I know that. It's not like you can go through anything super hard in life and then wake up the next day and it's perfectly fine. I know that, and I know it takes time. I'm just a very impatient person, and I just want to go back to the bubbly, happy person I used to be. And that person's not gone. It's just going to take me a minute to get back to that, which is, I'm so thankful I pre-filmed 2 videos. I'm so thankful. I don't know how I just coincidentally did that, but I'm so thankful for it, because that means that I can still upload content, but I don't have to worry about getting on camera and doing makeup at this moment right here, right now, because 1, I can't given my skin condition, but 2, just because I don't have it in me. And I want to do makeup. I do. But I'm just not in the right headspace to be doing it right now. So, I wish you guys could feel my skin. It's just like an alligator. It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. It's on my neck, my arms, my back, my stomach. It's everywhere. You guys have hives everywhere. Basically, I went through something hard in my personal life. That's why I haven't been posting. I've been trying to make some strides to cope with this, deal with this, get through this. Some of them have been healthy, some of them haven't been healthy. I've had a lot of victories, I've had some defeats. I think that's life. I'm going to answer some of your guys' questions. And also I'm going to talk about a poll that I did on Instagram and Facebook, so that this can all we can come to some type of closure for a video that's this dense. I want to start with a poll, and then we'll get into questions. I just asked a poll on both my Instagram and my Facebook. There's just a lot more people out there struggling with this than you think. Maybe that, I don't know. I asked a poll, I said, how many of you struggle or have struggled in the past with mental health? I asked that question both on Instagram and Facebook. I'm pretty sure if you could do polls on TikTok, I would have probably gotten like a bigger response, but I only did it on Instagram and Facebook. So out of my audience on Facebook, 72.7% of the people that answered on Facebook struggle or have struggled with mental health. What's even crazier, I did the same poll on Instagram. 98% of the people that answered struggle or have struggled with mental health. So, I think that's pretty crazy to think about. It just heightens the idea that, like, no matter what you're going through, like, you're not alone. So I just want to answer some questions. I really like this question. Someone asked, how do you cope with anxiety attacks? Which, that is, like, a struggle for me, because I have PTSD, and I also have anxiety, so sometimes I'll get triggered by something, and that trigger can lead into an anxiety attack. I don't really deal the best with this. But also, I don't think I can really picture somebody that's the best at doing this, because if you are the greatest at handling them, then who's to say, like, maybe you don't even struggle with it, honestly. I think most people that struggle with triggers or anxiety probably struggle with the fact of trying to prevent or even getting through that said anxiety attack. One thing I will say that I don't know if it's like the healthiest thing to do, but it depends on the moment. Sometimes I can feel it coming on. I can feel it building up, and if I can feel it coming, if I'm around something that's causing me to feel that, I just try to get away from it. I understand that's not maybe the best way to handle it. It's a very, like, aggressive approach, but if I'm in the midst of one, I haven't figured that out yet. I really haven't figured it out. I could lie to you and give you some advice. I could lie to you and tell you what my therapist told me, but I haven't figured that out yet. I just let it happen, and that's not good either. I think the biggest thing to do is when you're in the midst of them, you just have to slow your breathing down, and you just have to calm down. But obviously, if you're in the midst of an anxiety attack, calming down is not really the first thing that is crossing your mind or is the easiest thing to do. It's not. It's really hard. Also asked, what are your assumptions when mental health is a topic and people are talking about it? Like, what are the assumptions? Some of the assumptions you've heard, an assumption that mental health is systematically ignored by friends, family, and individuals due to expectations and shame. I think it's a pretty, there's a lot in that assumption. I think that is true amongst some family and friends, and I think that's not true amongst some family and friends. I think we've come a long way when it comes to society. I think society used to be that. It used to be ignored because it was a shameful thing to go through and it was embarrassing. I even know this because I am not an old person. I'm very young, but even growing up, the stuff I was going through to therapy, having a psychiatrist, that was very hush-hush in the very beginning of my family. My parents didn't want to tell my family. A lot of people in my family were shocked when I finally told them. They had no idea. And I'm a really young person, so even in my generation, I've seen families keep it hush-hush and on the down low. And this video alone is me just trying to say this does not need to be a hush-hush thing. It doesn't. What do you gain out of keeping something secret? As a family member, what do you gain by hiding, even a friend? What do you gain by not vocalizing somebody or yourself is struggling with something? What do you gain by doing that? For families, I think a long time ago, it's obviously it's still a thing. It's not like that's done and over with. For the people that still keep things hush-hush, I think the only thing they try to gain is this, like, the sacredness of their egos, right? Like, oh, my kid, I have the perfect child, they don't struggle with anything. I have the perfect family, we don't struggle with anything. That is like the whole reason why I'm making this video. I'm just sick and tired of people literally hiding what a lot of us all deal with. At first I didn't even want to upload any sad videos or anything because I don't want the people I hate to see me sad. I only want them to see me happy, but it's just not true. It's just not true. It's not real. And I'm not trying to live a fake life. Shit literally just happens. And I think that's me just being tired of being around so many people that don't showcase all of what goes on in their lives. There are so many influencers and so many famous people I follow, and I'm like, man, like, your life is not like that 24/7. I know that for a fact, because that's how it is for everybody. It doesn't matter how rich or famous you are, you could still have a bad day. And I just wish more people would talk about that. So, I think that's a correct assumption for a lot of people. But for the people in my life, I don't like to make those assumptions. I don't even like to follow things like that. I don't know if I gained anything by talking about this. But the only thing I want to take away from this is just don't believe everything you see online. And somebody might look like they've got it all together, and they really don't. They don't really know anybody that's got everything together. If you'd like me to make videos like this in the future, I'm not going to make any right now because I'm definitely not in the headspace, but I'd love to make a video in the future deep diving on my mental health and some of the steps I've taken, my journey with mental health. I'd love to one day deep dive on that, but that's up to you guys if you even want to see that. There's not going to be an outro. I'm not even going to tell you to like this video or subscribe. I'm not. This is my video. There will be more content coming soon. Hopefully I'll be happier in the future. See you guys later, my dudes.